The whole trajectory of art has been this continuous evolution in forms and in techniques. Once I clicked into this invention that Satoshi did with Bitcoin, which was a form of digital uniqueness in the sense that I had mine and that you had yours, once I clicked into that idea, then it was this question of, could a digital artwork have that same kind of property? How would you construct it? How would it actually work? And so slowly it dawned on me that you could make this kind of double, this second record that the blockchain provides. And the relationship between that digital work and this blockchain record might solve the problem.
It's been already 10 years that the blockchain has interacted with art, and it brought amazing things, but I think it's really interesting also to look more broadly about digital art and how digital art actually been always at the tempo of technical innovations. Kevin McCoy could be seen as a start for it, because in 2014, actually, without pronouncing the word NFT, he introduced this concept of having a digital work tokenized that can be altered.
At the dawn of this whole thing, my surprise was that NFT began to describe a visual style, not just a way to put something in the world, and that was a shock to me. I don't know that that's accidental.
That first piece, Quantum, was a code-based animation that I had made in the context of another artwork of the year before, a video sculpture piece that we had put together that had physical elements and screen elements together.
The first project that I put out into the world while I was still in grad school was Bitcoin. And in 2014, I forked Bitcoin and backed it at a fixed rate by my photography, a printed edition, 25 square inches per coin that I put into a vault. At the time, there was no such thing as an NFT. It didn't exist. The word smart contract didn't exist. Ethereum hadn't even launched yet. So this project was really driven by the idea of an acceleration of trends, which was images circulating as currency, memes, allowing people to turn themselves into brands.
And then comes 2017, and there is a big milestone when Lava Labs creates Cryptopunk. Lava Labs creates Cryptopunk in a very experimental mindset. Now it's very common to see some 10K project, and that actually is Cryptopunk who created the first 10K project by making the supply limited to 10,000. And it came out as probably one of the most important projects ever released in the blockchain era. And it's in 2020 when another very important milestone is the creation of art blocks by Snowfro. This allowed the artists to upload directly script on Artblocks platform, and then the collectors to directly purchase a work.
And then generative art is the next big transformation. The kind of, marriage of tokenized ownership with live code, that we've seen in the last, 3-4 years has been really, really great to see. And that's just grown the movement massively.
Then more recently, a very important milestone for the digital art, it's how institutions have embraced the medium. For example, the Museum of Modern Art exhibiting for many weeks a work using artificial intelligence that was made by Refik Anadol in their lobby, and the MoMA reported having had a record of traffic to visit this particular work.
Cloud of Petals project was essentially a giant proof of work. And recently, the Pompidou acquired the 16mm 30-minute film of the performance, and that was all exhibited in a room over the past year at the Pompidou.
We definitely arrive at a point where traditional collectors are either getting extremely curious about what's happening or even purchasing.
One idea that I think is important about digital ownership is not so much buying things, which I think is very easy to do, but I think it's selling things. I think people really like knowing that they can have something, think about it, transfer it to someone else, buy another one. Like that kind of transparency in the marketplace is really interesting.
One thing that is really interesting with this digital art ecosystem is the role that the community plays.
There is a huge number of people that have made that jump. And what's been amazing to see for me over all this time is just the enthusiasm of that community. And it's a new collector, right? It's a new kind of fan of this kind of work.
Art will just evolve in the way that photography made pure depiction obsolete. Photography, and then we followed that up with Impressionism. And so in the same way, digital images are in one way solved. Artists are going to follow that up with something else that might seem radical today and not easily absorbed in terms of what we think is art, but that we will recognize as art.
I feel like it's kind of circling back to where there's like a huge variety of those kinds of visual, styles in the marketplace, which I feel like just echoes, the way traditional art has been.
It's people that didn't necessarily have a home, an art world in a more traditional sense, and that distributed nature of, internet-based work and blockchain-based work means that it's a global movement. Seeing that happen in the last 10 years has been really exciting.